Now everybody, this is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report.
Again, those at the very top get the biggest breaks. And what do we have to show for it? Even our Republican friends are now beginning to admit there's no evidence these tax cuts are being put to work in the economy.
We have some breaking news from Congress, everybody. The Democrats in Congress want to pass a bill that will lower Medicare eligibility age to 60 years old and add better benefits. And jobless claims are continuing to increase all across the country. In fact, the U.S. Labor Department just reported that initial jobless claims unexpectedly rose last week despite an ongoing recovery in the U.S. employment market. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Now we have a ton of news to cover in today's video, so be sure to stay until the end and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So as I said, everybody, the U.S. Labor Department reported that initial jobless claims rose last week despite the ongoing recovery. First-time filings for unemployment insurance for the week ending on June 12th totaled 412,000. That is compared with the previous weeks of 375,000. Last week was the highest number since May 15th. An economist surveyed by Dow Jones had been expecting 360,000 new claims for last week. All of the increase essentially came from two states, everybody. The state of Pennsylvania saw a gain of 21,590, while California rose by around 15,000. Now the surprise rise in claims follows a series of steps towards normalcy in the payrolls picture. A year ago, folks, the nation was seeing close to 1.5 million new claims every single week amid continued government-imposed business shutdowns aimed at containing the crisis. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell noted the difficulties in getting workers back to finding the record 9.3 million available jobs. Powell said at a news conference, factors related to the crisis, such as caregiving, ongoing fears, and unemployment insurance payments, appear to be weighing on employment growth. Everybody, what do you believe is causing a rise in jobless claims? Is it the unemployment benefits? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Now, Democrats are eyeing a $6 trillion infrastructure investment plan that goes far beyond roads and bridges to include core party priorities, from lowering the Medicare eligibility age to 60 and adding dental, vision, and hearing benefits, to incorporating a long-running effort to provide legal status for certain immigrants. The Senate is preparing a draft budget document alongside one in the House that puts a new focus on President Joe Biden's big legislative proposal and shows the scope of what Democrats would hope to accomplish with a go-at-it-alone approach, separate from any possible bipartisan deal. Back from his trip, Biden is re-engaging with Congress as the administration and its allies on Capitol Hill embark on a two-pronged strategy, reviewing a nearly $1 trillion plan from a group of 21 senators, including 11 Republicans, while pursuing their own priorities in a more substantial package. According to Senate Budget Committee Chairman Bernie Sanders, Senate Democrats want to expand Medicare and lower the cost of prescriptions. Bernie revealed the plan on Thursday, saying the proposal is meant to build on President Biden's American Jobs Plan and American Families Plan. And when asked if Democrats were considering reconciliation, a process that would avoid having to persuade any Republicans to back the measure in order to force the changes, Senator Sanders told reporters, "Absolutely. The president has given us a framework. I think it's a comprehensive and serious framework. It is the function of the Congress now to take that framework and go with it. I think it's absolutely imperative that we deal with the existential threat of climate change, that we lower the cost of prescription drugs, that will make sure elderly people can chew their food because we expand Medicare to dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses." Bernie Sanders, everybody, does want to help out our seniors, and he also wants to increase the Social Security benefits. It is a promise that he's been saying for a long time. Now, Sanders will not disclose exact details. He indicated that the size and scope is needed to address the crisis that is facing working families, to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, to deal with climate change, to deal with the needs of children and parents, to deal with affordable housing crisis. Sanders stated the goal is also to ensure that the wealthiest people and the largest companies start paying their fair share of taxes. Everybody, I'm happy to hear that lawmakers are working on Medicare. According to Yahoo Finance, there's a crisis brewing in the healthcare industry. Medicare's Hospital Insurance Trust Fund. Breaking news, folks. Here's the most important stimulus information that you want to know. So stay until the end of the video.
Well, folks, thanks for coming in. I was telling my cabinet before you all came in that when I was a kid in grade school and high school and college, one of my closest friends was a guy named Pete McLaughlin. real basketball fans. He was the sixth man on the Reardon and Walker team at Providence College back in the late 60s. And anyway,
the president is going to speak, looks forward to speaking directly with Senator Manchin about and making the case for why the president feels this legislation should move forward. He feels that they've always operated, their conversations have always operated in good faith. And he expects this to follow that same approach. I would note that Senator Manchin has been in touch over the course of the last several weeks closely with senior members of the White House staff, and we expect this just to be a continuation of that conversation.
And do you have a sense for where the sticking points are at this point?
I'll let Senator Manchin speak for himself. And again, the president looks forward to communicating directly with him this afternoon.
Now, Democrats are feeling an increased sense of urgency to get quickly Biden's agenda passed and sent out. Climate packages across the line. Climate packages are about to be finished due to the expending, as well as the child tax credit should be extended. Now, the IRS will make its last monthly child tax credit payment on December 15th. Democrats see the monthly payments as critical to reducing child poverty and want to prevent a lapse. The key obstacle is Manchin, who has expressed a reluctance to pass the social spending package this year. Now, despite Manchin's hesitancy, key Democrats are insistent that the expended child tax credit will not expire. Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown told reporters that we are not going to have a lapse in payments because that's too important. The $1.9 trillion stimulus relief law that Biden enacted in March expanded the child tax credit for 2021. The expansion included an increase in the credit amount and monthly advance payments of the credit and allowed the lowest income families to be eligible for the full credit amount. The Treasury Department and the IRS in July started sending out monthly advance child tax credit payments of up to $300 for each child under age 6 and $250 for each child ages 6 to 17. The monthly payments will allow families to receive funds in installments rather than a lump sum when they file their tax returns and are currently set to end this month. The social spending package includes a one-year extension of the expended credit. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden told reporters that the IRS has indicated that Congress should pass the social spending package by December 28th in order to ensure that monthly payments are made on January 15th. Democrats view the monthly child tax credit payments as a key way to help low and middle income families afford household expenses. Additionally, a lapse in monthly payments could pose a political risk for Democrats ahead of the midterm elections. The spending package may be Democrats' best option for passing an extension of the expanded child tax credit before the end of the year, given that lawmakers are using the reconciliation process. A standalone bill with a temporary extension could face challenges getting enough Republican support to bypass a filibuster. And by the way, everybody, residents in Maryland are eligible to receive payments under the new States Relief Act, and thousands have not cashed in on their checks. Under the measure, qualifying families are entitled to receive $500 checks, and a total of 422,000 Maryland residents were eligible to receive the state payments, 98% of whom received the payments in February. However, a spokesperson for the state of Maryland told reporters that about 8,000 of the payments have been returned. The state sent the funds via direct deposit for eligible residents.